Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. You've probably seen a lot of old-time YouTubers like myself quitting the business lately. I'm here to tell you that I am not quitting, but I did want to talk about the last 12 years because that's how long I've been doing this for, and some of the many headwinds that face tech creators like myself. It is getting harder and harder to do this job, but I still like doing it. Let's get to it. Now, as we enter my 12th year here, I do want to thank you all for your continued support of this channel. That includes just watching the videos that I upload because it's getting harder and harder to get my videos in front of subscribers. Most subscribers don't even see what I upload because of how the algorithm works. So if you are someone who seeks me out and clicks on that button every time to watch whatever I put up, I greatly appreciate it. I also want to thank all of you who have been supporting the channel monetarily over the years. That includes using my donor box page at Lon.TV/support, which is the best way to support the channel, but also those of you who contribute to the YouTube membership program with that join button down below, through Patreon, through Floatplane, where I also upload my videos to, and of course those of you who are using the super thanks and the super chats during my live streams and other activities here. So thank you all very much for your continued support of my efforts here. Now, my video this weekend was inspired by Clint of LGR celebrating his 15 years on the YouTube platform. I've been a big fan of Clint. He covers retro technology. He was one of the many YouTubers that inspired me to start my own channel looking at modern consumer hardware. And what's been fun about following Clint over the years is just how much the retro technology space has grown with him. There is certainly more interest in the topic. The value of the hardware and software that he reviews is worth far more now than it did when he started. And there's a lot of new hardware for old stuff. In fact, just yesterday we were working on my Apple IIgs back there, adding modern hardware to it to make it work a little better. And we've got more to come in a few weeks. So it's been really fun to see that area continue to grow and gain new audience. The challenge in the modern consumer space is that we're kind of moving in the opposite direction. Now, the video that you're watching here is the one that I kind of attribute to the launch of my channel, partly because this is the first one I've done or did as a studio production where I had multi-camera switching going on and I was reviewing a product in a very similar way to how I do it now. And this video, actually for a first run, did quite well. I had, I think, well over 10,000 views in the first month. And that was because there were consumers interested in this product and searching for it. Nobody was following me, but they were interested in this little gadget and were curious if it might work for them or their kids or whatever. And back in that period of time, if we look back a decade to when I was really moving along here on the channel, what I would get for viewership was quite diverse in the sense that there was a lot of different things that people were interested in. And at this point, because I was so new to the platform, most of these views came from people searching. So if we look at my top 10 videos of 2014, you can see the top one there is a cord-cutting device, the HD Home Run Prime. I think many of you found me because of that video. That device, by the way, is still in use here in my house. It replaced all of my Comcast cable boxes and has long since paid for itself. And at some point when I finally really cut the cord, I will be retiring that device, but I certainly got my money's worth out of it. But also on the top 10, and number 2 was the Western Digital WD MyCloud, the first one. We also had security cameras, laptops, cameras, little portable routers, all sorts of different stuff was getting people to come to this channel. If we look a year later in 2015, when I was slightly more established, it was again another diverse set of technology products driving my top 10. So we had this little paper airplane device that would let you control a paper airplane with your phone. That one was the top one of the year, followed by the HD Home Run again from the prior year. We also had more laptops, tablets, more on the WD MyCloud NAS. We had the first Fire TV stick, and mini PCs, all driving the top 10 videos. But let's take a look at today. I'm still reviewing a lot of that stuff, but what is getting the traffic? Well, I had one opinion piece here on Facebook that kind of hit the algorithmic lottery. That came in at number 1. But the rest of this stuff is almost entirely focused on cord cutting. So the Tableau TV, the Project Ivy or Project.TV app that can get rid of ads on your Android TV device at number 5. Number 4 was a bit of an anomaly, but people do like tuning in for CES dispatches because those are in the news and people want to consume as much CES as possible around the time of that big show. But the rest of the stuff here is almost entirely focused on cord cutting. We have the On 4K, that little TV tuner stick that I reviewed, a review of YouTube TV that I did last year, and then, of course, my mom's adventures in getting off of Comcast cable. You will notice there that one of my videos on printers is in the number 8 position. It wasn't there initially. In fact, amongst my initial upload number, it was one of the lowest watched videos that I put up around that time, but it's since done a little better as people start searching for information about printers. So I'm still getting there occasionally with topics outside of cord cutting, but by and large, cord cutting is what is driving traffic on this channel. So what's going on here? Is the YouTube algorithm trying to silo me into a particular area, or are consumer habits changing? Well, I think the algorithm does have some blame here, but a large part of it is the fact that consumers are buying less individual technology products than they did a decade ago. So here's a couple of examples. People don't buy Blu-ray and DVD players like they used to. They're going onto streaming services. Yes, people who watch this channel like the physical media, but most consumers don't. They'd rather have the convenience of paying that whatever a month to get the streaming service and all you can eat. They're not buying music players anymore. Their phone does that. They're not buying video cameras and point-and-shoot cameras because their phone does that. Even computers last longer now than they used to. You don't need to buy a new computer every year or two. You can often get 7 or 8 years out of your computer, and many times people are replacing the computer only when it physically falls apart, even though it might still be working just fine. I use computers here that are 7 or 8 years old that are still more than adequate for all the stuff that I do here, editing video for a YouTube channel. And even things like printing have kind of fallen by the wayside because our camera screens are so good. We don't need to print photos out like we used to. So all this stuff is just getting replaced by a phone and a laptop or tablet, and that's it. And I think that's driving a lot of what's happening here with my channel and trying to find new audience. So as consumers buy less technology products, the products that they do buy have a lot more competition when it comes to reviewing them on YouTube. So we've got the laptop and tablet problem where people are keeping these devices longer. I think a lot of people bought their laptop during the pandemic where I saw a ton of traffic on laptops, and now they're good for a good length of time now with the laptop that they bought. And then on the phone, where they do replace it more frequently, there's a lot of people that review phones on this platform, and people aren't shopping for all that many brands. They might be looking at Apple, Samsung, Google, and a few others, but not that many. There's not a lot of different choices out there beyond perhaps some model differences. And there's a lot of people on YouTube who cover smartphones, and it's very hard to rise above that level of competition. And the industry is really struggling to get consumers interested in different types of products beyond their smartphone. So for example, Meta has sold 20 million Quest headsets. There is no other way to describe that but as a sales success. However, the people that buy them don't use them all that often, and I am just as guilty of this. It might be because it's a solitary experience, but whatever it is, people are just not picking these things up and using them, and Meta needs them to use them to buy software, which helps subsidize the cost of the hardware. So the industry is really struggling, as I am, to find an audience for some of their products that they are offering. And then we get into this AI stuff. I just did a video about the new on-device AI on the Copilot Plus PCs. It really is meh. Yeah, it kind of works, but it's not very useful. It's kind of a gee whiz concept. And I think the industry here is so desperate for something in this AI space that they're overselling what their hardware is capable of doing on device right now. Yes, we're seeing some cool stuff in the cloud, but even the AI that I log into to do some of my work around here doesn't get it done correctly most of the time. It's good at maybe summarizing something, maybe taking my video transcript and giving me something to start with for a blog post, but I am still doing a bulk of the work because I can't trust these AI models to get it right. And I think it's a lot more hype right now than actual usability. I even got this AI in my car, my Tesla self-driving car here. It works great when I'm driving around on well-marked roads, but the second I get into a rural environment, things go south on me here, including this incident that resulted in me having to go hunt around in the woods for my hubcap there, and then I had to pay to get my rims fixed. So this stuff is cool, it's got potential, but it is nowhere near where it needs to be, I think, to get consumers excited. And they are overselling these AI features to the point where I think it's going to turn consumers off and actually hurt the market versus grow it. So what is next for this channel? Well, I'm going to keep staying the course here. I've got some ideas which I'll talk about as we work our way through here. But I am concerned that there's just not enough new stuff to keep people engaged, because consumers are pretty happy with their phones, and if they are, there's not much for people to come to me for. So we'll have to hope that perhaps the industry is able to find their mojo again and get people excited. But let's take a look at how the year has been going so far. I've picked up 8,700 new subscribers. One of the fun things about what I do here is that my growth has been very slow and steady over the last 12 or so years. It's never crazy fast, but it never goes down. It just keeps steadily going up as we go. Unfortunately, though, the way YouTube presents content to subscribers, those subscription numbers don't help grow viewership as much as it used to, because again, most of my subscribers, because of the algorithm, don't see what I upload. But as of this morning, we were almost to 360,000 subscribers. We'll probably be there by the end of this week or next. So things continue to keep going here. And as you can see, most of my viewership is still coming from people who are not subscribed. So they are looking for stuff. And I've just got to keep finding the stuff that they're looking for to get those reviews up so that we can keep driving views to the channel. So far this year, I've had about 3.5 million views. This is about half of what I was getting during the pandemic period. And up to the pandemic, I was seeing growth year after year in viewership, but now my growth has been declining to the point now we're about half of where we were 2 or 3 years ago. However, the revenue is still okay. In fact, I'm making a little bit more on YouTube than I was when I had twice the viewership, and that's because of the things that I'm covering here. If we look at the pie chart of where the revenue has come in to date, revenue overall is down, but 63% of it is coming from YouTube and Amazon. I upload videos to YouTube and to Amazon. Both of those are my main drivers of revenue, as you can see here. Sponsorships are only 20%. I might have to go out and find a few more. We'll see how that goes over the course of the year. And most of those sponsorship dollars came from my Plex sponsorship. 5% came from all of you, so thank you very much for your contributions. 9% came from affiliate marketing, and 3% came from the gadgets that I sell through my store and on Whatnot. So what is next? Well, what I've been trying to do is find homes for the things that don't do well on this channel. As many of you know, I'm a huge space nut. I was spending a lot of money to go follow NASA rockets around, and the viewership just was dropping off on those videos, unfortunately, because the algorithm wasn't putting it in front of people. So I've partnered up with Nasaspaceflight, where I am a contributor. So you'll see me covering some of the launches on there. I'll do voice commentary, and then they'll put me on camera every once in a while for some of their other shows. So if you're not subscribed, definitely head over to Nasaspaceflight. They've got just over 1 million subscribers, and they get a ton of views on this stuff, which I was not getting on my channel. And it's really fun to be a part of this group. They're awesome folks. They are so passionate about space, as much as I am, and it's really a lot of fun to work with everybody there. So that is where the space content is going. I am also playing around with a new platform called Flip, and I'm not sure how sustainable this is. I did a video about it the other day. What Flip is an online marketplace, and if you, after your first order, do some video reviews, they basically let you get 3 free items if you spend $150. So to date, I've spent about $300 with them and probably got, I don't know, $1,500 worth of stuff. Not sustainable from a business perspective, so we'll see how long that goes on for. And they extend that offer to anybody, not just YouTubers, so check it out. So there, though, I've got to review these things vertically and not horizontally, and they have to be quicker. So what I've been doing is reviewing the products on Flip, and I'm also tossing those videos up to the Extras channel, which we call Lon's Gadget Picks. And I've been very much challenged over trying to find some way to keep the Extras channel relevant. Now, my plan with the rebranding to Lon's Gadget Picks was that I would upload these short little review videos of gadgets that didn't quite warrant a full video on this channel. However, I've since discovered that you do like to watch the little gadgets if I do a haul video where there's a bunch of them in a single piece, and therefore I've stopped uploading those things to the extras channel as a result. So that is why the flip videos are going up there. One thing I discovered though is that if the vertical video is a minute or less, it becomes a YouTube short, and then I can't put an affiliate link on it. I learned that the hard way when I started experimenting with shorts on the extras channel, so I've stopped doing that as well. So we'll figure it out eventually, but the extras channel is still going to be in a state of flux for the foreseeable future. One thing I am considering doing is spinning off a new channel focused on video production. I am a video nerd, and unfortunately, whenever I upload some kind of production hardware review on this channel, it tanks and doesn't do well forever. So I used to do okay on these videos, but now I am not doing so well. So I think what I'm going to start doing is grabbing my library of prior production videos and then re-uploading them to a new production channel and see if we can do a little better there. Most of my sponsorship opportunities come from video production companies, so I've got to figure something out here. So be on the lookout. I will send out an email and a notification when I get that experiment launched, and we'll see how well it does, because I don't want to stop reviewing video hardware. I really love that stuff, and I just got to find an audience for it. So we may experiment with that a little bit more. I do want to get into live streaming a little bit more than I have been doing lately. So I haven't stopped doing it, I just haven't been doing it as frequently. So of course during the pandemic, when I didn't leave the house all that often, I was able to do a lot more. So I will be picking up the pace on that. We did do one on Saturday. I've got one planned hopefully for later this week. So you can find those at Lon.TV/livestreams. That'll take you over to my Amazon page, where I also have my reviews up there as well. So if you're not following me on Amazon, definitely follow me there, because occasionally when I do a live stream, I might send it only to Amazon, especially if I'm recording a video for an upcoming YouTube video. I sometimes just stream it to Amazon just for the fun of it. So follow me on Amazon. The Amazon app will give you a notification when I go live. And of course, I also very frequently simulcast here on YouTube. Now, the other problem I have around here is that I have too much stuff taking up room in my production space here, and I've got to get rid of it. So I am selling a lot of stuff right now on the store at Lon.TV/store. I'm adding new things every couple of days as things get cleared out here. So if you are looking for a random gadget, check it out. There's always something new to explore there. Additionally, we're doing live auctions again on Whatnot. I did one about 2 weeks ago. My new auctions are going to be a lot shorter than the ones we did before, because I was finding that if I had too much stuff to sell, it was taking me forever to ship it out. It was taking like the whole day. So what I'm going to be doing is doing a couple of items at a time, get those shipped out, and then we'll do another one of these things. So if you go to Lon.TV/whatnot, that will take you to my affiliate link where you'll get $15 to spend on the Whatnot platform. It is quite addicting, and it's always a lot of fun. In addition to selling stuff, I do giveaways as part of the live auction as well. And if you can't make the auction, there is a way that you can pre-bid, so you can put your bid in ahead of time, and if yours ends up being the highest, you'll get the item. And whenever we do one of these things, I have an email that goes out at Lon.TV/store alert. So if you sign up for that email list, I will email you when we add new things to the store to purchase, or when we've got a Whatnot stream scheduled. So you may want to check that out if there are things you're looking for. And by the way, if I've got something that you've seen me use here on the channel that's not for sale, send me an email at lon@lon.tv and we can make a deal, because this place is a disaster right now. I got to get this stuff out of here. So help me out if you can. Additionally, if you want to subscribe to my email list, which is separate from the store alert email, I have a weekly email that you can find at lon.tv/email. And what I do there is give you a roll-up of all of the stuff that I did over the prior week. So that's all the videos that I put up, all the blog posts that I did. It's all in one place, really convenient way to get notified. I've got about 2,500 people on that list. I also have a daily email that goes out every time I post something, which you can find at lon.tv/digest. So if you don't want to hear from me all that often, the weekly one is the way to go. So that is where things are at. 12 years and we're still surviving here and looking for ways to keep it going for another 12. I greatly appreciate everyone's viewership. I'd love to hear some feedback down in the comments section. I don't need to ask for it because I know it's coming, but I would love for you to tell me what you think and what you'd like me to look at, because maybe I'm missing something obvious that would generate a lot of traffic. So that is going to do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.